So what you can expect in a 200-hour training of ours is to study life skills. Life skills, according to yoga, essentially it's studying the Yoga Sutra of Patanjali. And he goes into what's called the kleshas, or the afflictions. And essentially it's not understanding ourselves and our essence, the spirit within us, and how that causes us to look outside of ourselves for fulfillment and to view our world through this mind-made self because we don't feel like we're enough, and how that causes us to crave certain things for that fulfillment and to push away unpleasurable things to keep pain out of our lives, and ultimately the fear of letting go. The solution is essentially the 8-limb path. The 8-limb path gives us ethical guidelines to follow, and it gives us an understanding of the power of meditation and how to get closer to that essence, to that spirit. It starts by concentrating mind and quieting the chatter of the mind so that we can be still, and it's within that stillness that we experience who we are. So that would be the first part. The second part is alignment principles. And so whether you have a desire to teach or you don't have a desire to teach, alignment principles are really important because they teach us how to be safe in poses. They teach us how to integrate the body muscularly so that we're strong first, and then from that place of strength, how do we work and breathe and deepen into flexibility? Obviously it's valuable if you're teaching because you're informing your students of how to align their bodies, but it's so valuable as a practitioner because if you're understanding the principles of alignment and you're able to start to hear it in a different way, you're experiencing it in a different way, and then your practice is completely transformed. The third aspect and part of the teacher training is what we call class composition, and that's really understanding why we put sequences together the way we do. So essentially it's understanding the why, and if you can understand the why, you'll be able to take a class, deconstruct the class, look at each segment of it, and understand that, oh, this is where it is because we're opening this part of the body first. And to go into this deeper pose, these parts need to be prepared. And so you're understanding that there's a method to the madness. And that's just valuable because as you go out and you start teaching in your community, you want to be able to adjust and adapt what you're teaching to where your community is starting. They're basically their level of strength and their level of flexibility, and understanding the why of class composition gives you that ability. The final aspect would be to really understand karma, to understand patterning in our lives, and how karma is simply allowing the subconscious ingrained behavioral patterns that have been trained and conditioned within us from years of experience, understanding that and then being able to stop it, to say, I'm conditioned to react this way to this stimulus, whatever it is, a red light, an argument, flat tire. And now with what I've learned through the 8-limb path and what I've learned through my meditation practice and what we're really doing in the physical asana practice, I realize now that I have a choice. I don't have to react that way. And within that is the ability to be free of your past, to be free of these conditioned patterns that cause agitation and a general suffering, which is just, a dissatisfaction with the moment and what is and what's happening in the moment. And then once you're there, now it's understanding that we're co-creating our life. And so I'm not a victim anymore. I'm taking my life into my own hands, and how do I want it to look? And what do I want it to be? And we'll cover and go into how do I start taking steps into living the life of my dreams, living the life that I've always wanted to live. And that's essentially the whole 200-hour teacher training encapsulated.